Today I'll be having some Korean glass noodles. They're called japchae, and this is a green onion, not an onion, green garlic. I like having it with garlic. Today is Sunday, okay? I can have my garlic on Sundays. My mouth is gonna stink, but it's okay because it's Sunday and I'm home. I love glass noodles. The texture is so good. Today I wanted to talk about my childhood because all of a sudden I remembered my childhood when um I used to live with my grandma here. Vitamins. Especially right now, you need your vitamins. Um okay, so around that time, usually in my culture, you have to live with your husband's mother. Like so my mom had to live with my grandma basically. And my grandma used to cook very little food. Well, of course, my mom helped, but it was my grandma who made the decision on how much food to make. And I don't know why she used to always make food very little. It used to be so little. I was like 8, 7 years old, and I used to be so hungry all the time. Always begging my mom, like, Mom, I'm so hungry. And my mom used to be like, just be thankful. There's nothing I can do. Like, it's your grandma that makes all the decisions about the food. My grandma was a very nice lady and all, but she used to make food very little. And the food used to be like quite disgusting in my opinion sometimes. I mean, they used to make like food that was very simple, like just fried potatoes with eggs. Just fried potatoes with eggs on its own. It's quite like starchy and like fried potatoes, like very oily and starchy, and it would be better with more vegetables, like maybe like tomatoes or something. It would make it bulky as well, I think. I cut my noodles. Anyways, I used to be hungry all the time. And even, I mean, the amount of food that my grandma used to cook that was enough for everyone was like, I used to get like half of what I'm having right now. You know, like how little that is. And we used to eat it with a lot of like local, like in Central Asia, people eat a lot of bread. So, like, of course, there was bread with it along to go along with it, but I wanted food, not just like eat bread with potatoes. Who eats bread with potatoes? I eat potatoes on its own. Potatoes is a starch. I mean, with like potato dumplings and stuff like that, that's a whole different story. But with bread, you eat. What do you eat with bread? Like, you eat bread with You should eat bread not with potatoes, but like with maybe a salad or something that's not very filling, like something non-starchy. I used to be miserable, so miserable. There used to be in the house. There used to be lots of like snacks and stuff, but like I used to get so tired of eating snacks and cookies. I wanted real food. I was a very interesting kid. Like with those cookies and stuff too. Like I wasn't. You would think, oh, you see cookies and stuff like that all the time, and bread all the time. How come you weren't overweight? I wasn't overweight. I used to use that energy to play with my friends outside. I used to just like walk around in circles actually. I think I was somewhat active in that way, in that sense. Mm. How do people like um Veronica Wang, they eat a lot, and I mean the rate that I choose not fast enough. I just think that I'm a fast eater up until now. I'm so thankful for a big meal like this. I like to have bulky meals, not like calorically dense food, you know? I'd rather have food that are like that satisfy my eyes and my stomach. Different colors, not just potatoes with bread. Don't get me wrong. My grandma used to make the most delicious baked goods as well, like samsas, bulichkas, buns with like different kinds of amazing fillings like apricot buns, um, apple pies, pirashkis. If you don't know what pirashkis are, they're like fried. Um, they're almost they're almost like um, the idea is almost like donuts, but it's filled with potatoes. Sometimes it has sweet fillings as well, like jam, filled with potatoes or eggs with rice, or with sometimes with meat. I love with cabbages, filled with cabbages. It's so good. You guys should try like Russian baked goods. They're pretty good. Yeah, she used to make really good baked stuff, but they used to be quite little. I mean, she was old, so probably she thought that like kids mustn't have a big appetite. But I was a growing kid. I used to get hungry all the time. And my mom knew this too. So like I used to snack a lot. I used to eat like bread with um chocolate. It's kind of like a local Nutella. Bread with Nutella all the time. Like when I used to get hungry between meals. Um, bread with sometimes bread with ketchup on its own because there was nothing in the house. Just kidding. I was like small and that was my creativity. Bread with my favorite thing in the world was like eating bread with bologna. I think it's called bologna. Bread with bologna and ketchup. And lots of cookies. I remember eating lots of cookies because they were like they're quite cheap. And like they're they smell a bit like soap, like in Central Asia, in Uzbekistan, no offense. It doesn't taste like it's the highest quality kind of um cookies. But I was hungry so I used to eat it. They used to make good food too, like galupsi, all kinds of uh, interesting Central Asian food. But of course, as I said, the portion was unreasonably small. And I remember sometimes when my grandma used to cook, it used to be like drenched in oil. And I mean, it's very calorically dense when foods are drenched in oil. Oil is good, like in small amount. Like I love it how my mom cooks food. Like she adds just the perfect amount of food. I mean, amount of oil. But when there's too much, it's just like, oh, am I drinking oil? Some Uzbek people cook foods like that, where it feels like you're just drinking oil. My mom's cooking is the best. That's how I grew up, and I mean, right now my grandma's well, she passed away, so my grandma's not doesn't live with me here in Uzbekistan. But if she was alive, my mom would have to live with my grandma because that's culturally that's how it is. You have to live with your mother-in-law. Not all They start like this, but 80% of the time it's like this. So yeah, that's a bit about my culture. This is so spicy, kind of spicy. Because I added gochugaru. If you don't know what that is, it's a Korean red pepper flakes, chili red. Yeah, I guess you understand what I mean, right? The ratio of veggies to noodles is a bit off because I don't know, like I thought I cooked a lot of noodles, but it turned out it wasn't a lot. Do you know like the struggle of that? Usually, if it's pasta or something, you know exactly how much it's gonna turn out, but if it's glass noodles, it's a bit different. Mm. Also, my aunt used to live here too with my grandma, like my grandma's daughter, because she got divorced with her husband. I don't know why. And she has a daughter too. Like we all used to live in my house. It's all vegetables now. I like vegetables too. But it's so spicy. Today is a Sunday, so I felt like making something. And I felt like having noodles. Because you know, noodles are amazing. I want there to be interaction between us. I never watch people stream mukbang videos. Who are some famous mukbang streamers? What do people stream for? I wonder if I will ever stream. If I'll ever have such audience that would, such huge audience that would be interested in a stream video. I wonder why I always have my hands like this whenever I'm announcing something. fast can I eat this? Ah. Mm. I have to go work on my coursework. I'm so tired of the topic of my coursework. It hurts my brain so much. I study in a British university, by the way, and sometimes the terms used in the British university is quite different. Like, did you know that the passing mark in British universities are 40, like 40%? How is it in the U.S.? Because I noticed that my audience is mostly from the U.S. And I was forced to do the foundation year. I think usually the foundation year is optional, right? I'm sorry about the noise. I know it bothers some people. I'm just the way I eat sometimes is kind of weird. I know. I'm sorry. I'm done eating. Hope you enjoyed that video and a little facts about me. See you guys in my next video. Bye.